I'll never forget getting 2 CDs for my 15th birthday. My dad, being the absolute legend that he is, got me Jason Becker's Perpetual Burn album, which, as a 15-year-old guitar player who thought Gary Moore was a pretty fast guitar player, absolutely just went totally galaxy brain on me. I could not believe that somebody could do what he was doing. And I listened to that CD for a couple of weeks straight, totally ignoring the other CD that he'd got me because I'd never heard of the band before. It was a live album by a band called Symphony X, Live on the Edge of Forever, and when I finally got around to listening to it, it blew my mind even more than Perpetual Burn. And there's a song on there called Sea of Lies. I think it's off their Divine Wings of Tragedy album, and there's this one tapping section in there that I just could not believe was guitar. Like, I was just like, no, there's no way. That's just a particular keyboard sound that, they've kind of made sound like double track guitar. And then I saw a video years later of Michael Romeo, the guitar player from Symphony X, tapping this lick. And I still couldn't believe it. So it's taken me a long time, but I finally went and learned the lick. I put up a little version of it on my Instagram last week, and a bunch of you guys were asking for a breakdown of that lick, which I am more than happy to do. So let's dive straight into it. The only thing you will have to do is to tune your guitar down to D standard. Otherwise, just play everything 2 frets lower. Let's dive straight into it. All right, let's get this party started. The first note is the 15th fret on the top string. I'm going to tap that. You can either tap with your first finger like I'm doing, or just simply reach around and tap with your middle finger. Totally up to you. But we're going to tap the 15th and pull off to 14 and pull off to 12 with our left hand. So this. And my first piece of advice would be, if you've never done any tapping before, just work on getting that to sound nice and smooth. And it also helps if, unlike me, you don't hit any of the extra strings there. And a good tap is basically a hammer-on and then a flick. So you want to avoid doing this. Okay, once you're comfortable with that, we're going to skip a string and tap fret 16 on the G string. What the hell did I do there? I don't know, but it sounded pretty cool. Anyway, the goal there would be to tap 16 and then pull off to 12, 11, and 9 on the G string. So again, if you're inexperienced with this kind of stuff, just work on that little part there. What we're then going to do is basically reverse all of this. So once we've got down to 9, we're going to hammer on 11 and 12 with our left hand, and then hammer on 16 with our right hand. And then to finish off the first little pattern out of nowhere, we're going to tap 12 and 14. So these are left hand taps, a tap and then a hammer on. I guess really I should say, whether you want to call it tapping or a hammer on, you're hammering onto the 12th without plucking the string at the start. And then we're just going to repeat that pattern all up. Let's have a listen to it. So that is the general idea there. I apologize about all this extra string noise. I've got a lot of gain going on, and I would encourage you to use a lot of gain as well, because for stuff like this, sometimes you just need the extra smoothness in there. So that is the first part of the lick. Essentially, the left hand on the G string is going to stay the same throughout all of this. The second part of the lick, all that we change is we're going to tap, instead of tapping 16 on the G, we're going to tap 17. So we get this. Which is pretty sweet. And then
All we have to change for the third part of the lick is instead of tapping 12, 14, 15 on the top string, we're going to tap 10, 12, 14, like so. And instead of going down to 16 or 17, we're going to go down to 14. The left hand on the G string stays the same. It's tapping 12, 11, 9 through all of them. And again, I apologize, it's a little bit sloppy, but hopefully you guys get the idea. Putting all of that together, part 1, part 2, part 3, and then back into part 1 again, we get this. And there you go. That is the Sea of Lies tapping lick that gets repeated. And I mean, conceptually, once you've wrapped your head around this and once you're comfortable with the tapping technique, this is actually the easiest part of the solo. I say easy in inverted commas, but basically it's sort of like once you can get the very first part, this bit, then the other two parts follow quite quickly, whereas the solo preceding it and the solo following it are full of really difficult phrases and, there's even crazier tap licks in there and fast picking stuff and all that kind of thing. So once you've kind of wrapped your head around it, you'll actually be quite satisfied in that you'll find it's not quite as difficult as it looks. And, like I said before, it's still a difficult part. It's still going to require a lot of practice and dedication. But it's one of these things you can bust out at parties and in guitar shops and absolutely blow people's minds.
If you guys enjoyed the video or if you have any questions, please let me know in the comments. You can follow me online at Leon_Ragdoll on Instagram and also follow my band Ragdoll, facebook.com/ragdollrock, and the tag is Ragdoll_rock on Instagram. Yeah, thank you guys so much for watching the video. If there's any other songs like this you would like to see broken down, please let me know, and I'll see you all real soon.